Here's everything I read in the month of August with a yes, no, maybe. A Will to Power by Ronan Fanning. This is about Eamon de Valera. De Valera was one of the most important figures in the 20th century in Ireland. He played a crucial role in so many of the important events: the Easter Rising, the Irish War of Independence, the Anglo-Irish Treaty, the Irish Civil War. He was one of the first Irish prime ministers, the transition of Ireland from the Irish Free State to the Irish Republic, and the development of Ireland as a modern nation state. If you want an introduction into the history of Ireland in the 20th century, this is a good place to start. Definite yes. Dictatorland by Paul Kenyon. This looks at it as a series of countries in Africa after they emerged from independence, and how come they, instead of grasping the opportunity presented to them by the end of European rule, how come so many of them fell into corruption, war, and dictatorship? It looks at the Congo under Mobutu, Gaddafi's Libya, and so many other countries, looking at the weird mixture of post-colonialism, corruption, violence, and Cold War politics that thwarted many African countries from becoming successful states immediately after independence. Definite yes. Timothy Henderson's A Glorious Defeat. This is about the US-Mexico War of the 1840s. It's also a really interesting introduction into the early history of Mexico in the early to mid-19th century, talking about the divisions within Mexican society, what prevented Mexico from really flourishing at a time when the United States of America was expanding relentlessly westwards. Definite yes. The Padre by Jennifer O'Leary. This is about Father Patrick Ryan, a priest from Tipperary who ends up getting involved in the Troubles. He becomes someone who organizes the shipment of money and guns from Colonel Gaddafi's Libya to the IRA in Northern Ireland. This is a brilliant and gripping story, and he also plays an important role in the events that lead up to the Brighton bombing. Definite yes. Looking at Women, Looking at War by Victoria Amelina. This is probably the most emotional book I have read so far this year. Victoria Amelina was a brilliant Ukrainian writer who documented the Russian invasion of Ukraine and looked specifically at the impact that the war had on the lives of Ukrainian women. But she lost her life in a Russian airstrike before she completed the book. So the book pulls together her notes, her interviews, and the first draft to tell a truly raw story, both of the experience of Ukrainian women and her as a person living through the events of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. A definite yes. All of these books are available by clicking the link on my bio or commenting book below. Let me know what you were reading in the month of August. And follow Ancient to Recent for more book reviews and recommendations just like this.